Welcome back to the Starcraft Cheese Hour, featuring the smartest and also whatever the opposite of that is, the one, the only Florencio. Let's introduce in this first replay, as Florencio always likes to have a narrative for his stories. This one is entitled Hide and Seek. But the challenger, it is Old Timer with a classic Steam profile portrait clan decal. Impeccable. We'll see if Old Timer can keep up and remain socially distant from Flovid-19. Florencio picking the Terrans as his choice this time around. He's been expanding his horizons and flying his buildings towards them. He's over the last months, instead of just Protoss, showing us the wide variety of Terran and Zerg strategies that players just, well, they think 10 years everybody's done every strat. And then Florencio says, what is a strategy? And we all have to step back for a second, maybe take a few steps back, because it's Flovid-19, and think. No, we were right the first time, but somehow this guy's doing this stuff. I gotta... So, a decoy barracks at the front to start. Perfect balance. For every barracks in the main, there is a barracks at the front. For every factory in the main, there is a factory wherever this is. And now there will be a tech lab. Why build in your main when you could build in his? Back in Florencio's main, of course, are the prototypes for these strategies. But wait! The sands of time have changed. In this timeline, a reactor is the choice. Which is, of course, to build for the factory. Yeah. Didn't see that one coming, did ya? Did Florencio? It's unclear. He's essentially the Dr. Manhattan of players. He both sees every possibility, but also none of them. The handoff, the exchange, high five. All right, go get some R&R. Wait, I need your add-on. There you go. All right. I'll be back after half a dozen units for his shift. All right. The barracks on its way back. Meanwhile, Old Timer is doing what could be described as a standard macro build. Oh my god. The factory in the main is for drilling claws. Oh. Expand your horizons. It wasn't just there to test it makes so much sense. But the path of this game was just not revealed to me until the time. As he continues, Old Timer just going about his business, trundling along. There's going to be the Octomine attack as Drilling Claws finishes. The legendary Octomine takes no prisoners and gives no quarter, but 2 quarters. is fine, because that makes Octo. Anyways. And meanwhile, the drones run. Couple mines fire big hits. But the rest of the mines are scuttling forward. Death in their eyes. Murder on their minds. And mines in their money. And money for their mines. Oh, the Marine dies mostly to the mines. But this is now a literal minesweeper game. Except if you fail, you die. Or maybe your friends or family are drones. You gotta maintain some social distance from those Flovid-19 mines. But the Queen, Brenda! What's hitting us? I don't know, just stand still. Brenda! No! Oh, Karen! Everyone died at the end. Is there an overseer yet? He has yet to build an overseer. The mines from nowhere. A spine crawler is a technical counter, but the spine crawler isn't done. It has to be built. Zerglings! The main has been claimed by the mines. The Octo Mines started it. But the Deca Mines will finish it. He now has claimed the ramp and will rain down fire from upon high. Oh, did an overseer die? Yes. Oh, and that was the only one. Well, there can only be one. Two Marines will combine their efforts. Old timer struggling. He's gonna kill one. He's gonna kill two. But number 3, the select all army hotkey. Oh no! He lost a second overseer. But the roaches will continue until morale improves. They're getting closer. Oh no. The splash damage. A coastal town in a tsunami. Oh no. The roaches have mercy! But he was granted none. Finally, a spore crawler finishes. Old timer just taps it out, and Florencio quickly and cleanly mines through. Yeah, for those like who might be wondering, this is not a professional game, but neither is it not a professional game. Many players look to beat the physical manifestation of a player. Okay? They look to kill their units, destroy their economy. Florencio goes deeper. He attacks their soul. So that one way something will break. Either their body or their spirit. Do we have another example? We have, in the bottom left, Dexter. Florencio's loyal friend. His best friend in the entire world, some say. One who he confides all of his madness, insanity, and beauty. It is Florencio's dog. And in the top right is Becky. Becky, well known for her proxy hatch strategies, and might be applying one here today. Becky slaps it down. There was no hesitation, by the way. It wasn't like, maybe I'll proxy hatch. It was, oh, I'm here? Proxy hatch. Meanwhile, Florencio, a.k.a. Dexter, a.k.a. Flovid-19. Well, where would Florencio expand, you say? You may not have said that. But you should have. Because obviously, it was going to be the bottom right corner. He spent his minerals, but any second now, he will expand to the...
Now we play the waiting game.
What was that, Jimmy?
Now we play the waiting game.
Oh. Meanwhile, this is happening. Florencio is bunker rushing a natural hatchery from the outside of his base in, which is probably the most efficient way to bunker rush a natural hatch. And suddenly Becky is isolated from the reinforcing Zerglings. Becky maybe should have thought twice before proxy hatching this location. Florencio has successfully quarantined Becky into this natural, but you gotta be careful. I played the Heart of the Swarm campaign. Like, you gotta make sure those Zerg tests stay under control. Because you let the Zerg go, things can get dangerous. Okay, Becky, her strat is more Zerglings. It doesn't appear as a also known as a barcode player. A barcode player, and I don't believe this is, in Florencio's Terran is not as Cyril level as his Protoss, so this is not Masters or Grandmasters, I don't believe. Becky decided, I'm going to play on a barcode because people just knowing my proxy hatch strats is the only reason they aren't working. But when I maintain anonymity for my high-level place, then maybe then I will be successful. With that, no. This is a total failure. Florencio has outmaneuvered, outcalculated. Yes. The classic follow-up. Oh, what was this titled, by the way? Oh, this was titled Jebaited. This game from the man himself. So now, the best case scenario for these banelings is the workers at that factory are now demanding, they're unionizing and demanding hazard pay. And there it is! We finally got the expansion in the bottom right corner, as Florencio also expands to his natural, because why not? An engineering bay is the choice, and it is indeed choice. Sure, he may have like an airlock system to get through his base that is kind of tough to navigate for the SCVs, but he's defended with flying colors. Becky has macroed up to an extent. She's gotten her very own natural base. A bit delayed, for obvious reasons. Another fact. Oh, Florencio, making sure each base has its very own factory. Buy local. 4 Hellions. Driving out. Riding out. Ride together, die together. So true for Hellions. Now what will we do? They lied, though. That Hellion died and the rest left because, obviously we're not just all gonna die. That would be stupid. Meanwhile, 2 planetaries. The planetary per minute. The PPM, if you would, is higher than most games. Yes, there's not much going on. This is the calculation phase of the match, where Becky tries to figure out how to play an actual game of StarCraft, and Florencio tries to figure out how to avoid exactly that. Tank is done. Planetary's done. Lair is halfway there for Becky. Couple starports. It can't be battlecruisers. Battlecruisers are too simple. It must be Ravens. I'm doing my Florencio mind meld. Could it be Banshees? A Viking? Got bad connection, I'm sorry. Like, there's a lot of rock between where the sewers are, and... You know, it's an issue. So Florencio is now going to play some defense. Technically, the whole game he's been playing defense. But once this is part of the process. It's far too oh, the infestation pick choice. Interesting choice from Becky. You gotta savor it. Sure, there was a time when maybe Florencio could have built 8 Hellions in an armory and burned everything away with Hellbats. Maybe. Maybe a couple battlecruisers would outright win the game. Maybe. But would that have the satisfaction and the emotional tranquility that comes with dismantling your opponent's soul and the fiber of their being? I doubt it. And now we're actually going to find ourselves in a pretty interesting spot. Florencio is going for Hyperflight Banshees with Cloak. So Speed Cloak Banshees. Becky has a Spire on the way, and she's got 7 Queens, which is a healthy number. The creep spread's starting to get quite a little exploratory here. Florencio not able to keep much of a hold on it. Sending out some tendrils, some feelers. We're going to be at an interesting scenario where Florencio is just going to have Banshees for the most part. And there will be anti-air units and defenses. I hesitate to say counter units, because that's not what we're doing here. But drilling claws, halfway done. When the next, well, in 7 minutes from now, when the next fight happens, those drilling claws are going to come in handy. I heard it from Flostradamus. A scan? But where? No, really? Oh, for the creep. The Hellions microed back, but there are just too many Zerglings. Becky's at 38 drones. Florencio at 59 SCVs. The Banshee strike team on the way, heading north. And then we'll take an east at the other bingo base. Take an east. They're going to take an east. All of it. Just fly into the east. Is that a second infestation pit? No, actually, the infestation pit was canceled for a Spire. I miss those mind games from Becky, but here are the Banshees. And guess what? What you can't see, you can't shoot. The hatchery itself under attack. Are there any overseers? There are 2 done now. Will Brenda and her knitting crew get back to the... No, not an inject. That's the wrong one. Oh, no. Florencio gets in and gets out clean. Maybe overstaying is welcome? No. All done. All right, take your armor off, take your cloak off, set it down, take a seat by the fire. You guys done good out there today. Completely successful strike on the hatchery and so many drones as well. 17 drones. And now the TPM begins to raise. That, of course, will invite a retaliatory response out of Becky. Looking at 13 Mutalisks. Now, there are already 11 turrets and counting. Oh, looks like there are a couple Zerglings over here. Some Cyclones coming out. They had to shift production. You can only build one unit at a time. You know, it's the rules. Are the Mutas looking for the base? But was Flostradamus right? Will the drilling claws come in handy? 1, 2, 3, 4! No more Mutas for Thors! Ah, so close! And the Overseer? Huh, what happened here? I wonder what happened. Oh, okay, I get it. And then now finally the Ravens. Fusion Core. The Banshees are taking their sweet time, but will get most of the things. Alright. Slowly clearing the creep. This is it's a valiant attempt at micro. He's trying. He's really trying. Well, I'm sorry. She's really trying. Becky trying to out-micro a planetary with Widow Mines, which is, not... Oh, no. Well, and there goes that idea. The Banelings, they'll get some SCVs. Looking for more. The planetary has a lot to say about it. Down goes the turret. Will it... Okay. We're about to ask the inevitable question. Oh, Florencio, as we all know, all roads eventually lead to battle cruisers. If a game goes on long enough, you will see battle cruisers. And Florencio has decided the time is now. No upgrades. No basic upgrades. He's got the abilities. He's got the fancy speed upgrades and all that. But nothing silly like +1 ship weapons or mech armor or any boring stuff like that. No. There's a Indian Ocean of Cyclones in the main. The Banshee's still sharking around. Eight Mutas on the way, but are the spores even enough to counter the Banshees? Not really, but kind of. One Muta. Microed away. Becky's still struggling. She's up to 50 drones, but the main base is mining out. A third command... Well, I'm sorry, reflex. Fourth command center. Drop down. The Cyclones... Oh, this is something. But the Cyclones aren't reacting. They lock on! The Mutas! Gunned out of the sky. They get high ground. Okay, there wasn't vision. Those Mutas will survive, and they heal pretty quick. Problem is, where are the rest of the units? Oh, here they are. Oh. The Widow Mines. They hurt more than help, but it looks like Florencio has a deadly army here. It does look that way. The queens, though, have something to say. They say, "Get off our lawn!" Their lawn, of course, being the creep, but do they have property? Oh my god, the Widow Mines slaughter the Banshees. And yep, that's pretty much how it went down. Wait a second. Once again, the Widow Mines. Well, those went better. Mutas. The next wave for both sides. Single auto turret. Another auto turret. Down goes one. Oh no. The lock-ons. He really wants that Raven. Gets the Raven. The Muta's doing okay here. Oh my god. How many Mutas lost? 20 Mutas lost throughout this match. More battle cruisers in production. 80 supply lead for Florencio. Really just containing, keeping the creep uncreeped. No creep. Yep. Nailed it, Winter. Perfect. Down goes the Evo chamber walls. Broodlings. Gotta outmicro those broodlings. And now Florencio is in prime position. Oh wait, the Zerglings slip out! What will be their eventual destination? There is a planetary, but nothing else. And Becky has sent a couple changelings to scout the path. Oh, banelings. There will be one shot. There will be one opportunity. That's kind of how banelings do. Unfortunately, though, this SCV, he's trying to keep him from scouting it. He tried to out-micro, but Florencio has been alerted. Or has he? Let's go to the Florencio action cam. Oh, here come the Zerglings! And a whole lot of banelings. Actually, like a surprising amount. And the planetary is holding. The banelings aren't connecting with the planetary! It looks like just barely. If they had building armor, that base would have survived. Yeah, that's maybe... Remember, this started with a proxy hatch. It started with this base being taken by a hatchery. It will not end like that. Meanwhile, the Mards scuttling in! Is there anything to stop them? Oh, the volley is devastating! But the swarm host, the babies of the... Well, eventually the family line of that swarm host will end. But the Locust will find glory before it. And kill several of those Widow Mines. So, Becky strikes back. And now there are 18 swarm hosts on the field. And I'm not saying swarm hosts are particularly the best counter to battlecruisers, but I'm saying there are 18 swarm hosts on the field. You've now been notified of that fact. The watchtower cannot be taken by air units, though it's unclear if Florencio understands that. Or chooses to acknowledge it, more accurately. These scouting SCVs are... What am I watching? Okay. Just incredibly clutch. Without these SCVs so bravely giving that... I'm not sure what the destination of that SCV was. The Widow Mines? Oh my god. Almost as perfect as they could get. But more Locusts will drop down. The base itself. Another Widow Mine hit. And the base will hold. The Widow Mines took out a more than big enough chunk of the Locusts to keep that base alive. Oh, Banshees. 1, 2, 3. Down they go. Cyclones trailing them. Who called in the fleet? Well, Florencio did. Probably on a via Pony Express. They took their time, but they finally arrived. The battle cruisers, the obvious Oh my god. Don't pop them all. Oh, the micro. The micro. The ultimate chase! Locust versus mine! One has a cooldown, one has a short life. Is that an SCV hiding? Very stealthy. Jesus. Will they ever make it through the minefield? Oh, my baby! The mine. Oh, and the battle cruiser! They jump! Did they jump or did they just walk? Let's get instant replay. Meanwhile. They didn't walk either. They flew, but you get it. $18 more mutas. There's +2, +1 in the air without the mines, and that's a big stipulation. But without the mines, against unupgraded battle cruisers, 30 to 40 mutas isn't. Like, there's a dream. Once again, without, like, a single Widow Mine. There's more than a single Widow Mine. There's about 28 times a single Widow Mine. But I feel like that might be enough mutas to take on the... Oh, no. Oh, my God. They're going down with... Oh, the Blink Micro. The devastating strikes. None of the battle cruisers have died. And that's it for Becky. Becky can't handle it. She had a proxy hatch build, and that was it. That was the end of it. The build ended mostly there. But I don't think we filled up that full hour yet, eh? Let me see if I have some I haven't cast in. We've got another Terran one. This one is entitled, I don't even know how the file name is allowed to be this long. It is entitled, The Closer We Are to Danger, the Further We Are from Harm. Which is, and each has an underscore as well. So, challenging sanity and file name character limits. Not Thanos. It's old Greg. And also me hoping I didn't cast this game before. I'm pretty sure I didn't. And also, the only way the game is truly balanced is to play Terran versus Terran, says Thanos. So, only one will survive. I guess technically there could be a draw, which really throws all that out of whack, but we will see. What am I watching? I know what I'm watching. But how will he reconcile that other SCV? The boys! Wait, where are they going? What? What is this Transformer shit? Suddenly the boys are in the main. Does he notice that there may be more than 1 or 2 minerals in there? The boys attack! When boys attack! 3, 4 SCVs going down in the sheer panic that ensues. There's a Reaper on the way. The Reaper on its own. Well, there's also a command... Wait, what? There's a command center on the way. The boy's getting involved. Oh no, they're trying to run. He's not mineral walking. He's panicking. That's about it. A mule drops. Very important to have that order. The Reaper! The Reaper is everything, and then some. The Reaper can technically... Oh, he repairs! Oh, the boys will survive. He's gonna kill some more. Some of these SCVs. The mule is mining. A Marine is on the way. The Reaper has a whole lot of work ahead of it. The Reaper must live. The Reaper must live. Meanwhile, Florencio has re-expanded in a very creative manner. Another SCV. There are only 3 against 14. Oh, a Marine comes out. Marine can be killed. The boys converge. They're out for blood. They will have it. The Reaper is so much... It's everything. It's so important. Oh, the grenade! The grenade! The Reaper! 4 HP! 1 attack. Florencio's boys. Oh, you gotta be careful. He goes to the low ground. There's another base there. Florencio not mining. He finally finds the space. Another kill. 4 kills so far. The last SCV at that base. Oh, he's got... Oh, God, it's too close. I mean, there's not much more commentary to do. Will he retreat? Is he just giving up? He's going to let him murder his other boys? Oh, my God. It's going to be close. The murder! It's 2 versus 1 supply. Wait! They're killing the mule! There's still 2 boys left in the bed. Oh, he left them behind. Special operatives. The mule's kind of important. Oh, the last one.
You're the last one. Complete the mission. Mission failed.
Well, I don't think the mission failed. Florencio now has a 4-worker lead, and that Reaper's gonna have no idea where to go. And the second step. It all comes together. But there's nothing in the main to kill. I guess technically a depot. This was the contingency plan if a Reaper got out. We're going to the Thanos cam. And what is the last base of all bases? What is the last base you would look for him at? Just think in your mind. We'll see if that is indeed. In fact, you may not even look there at all because it's... Now, he is rebuilding workers quite quickly. I'm not on the actual Thanos cam here. Okay, there's the Thanos cam. Oh my God, is he gonna find it? When does he find? There's already gonna be Marines by the time he finds it. Oh, his pathing ends here. The pathing ends here. And then the Reaper. It's still looking, but guess what?
Surprise, motherfucker.
There are Marines! He's building a reactor! Oh, it's too bad! He found the base! It's too late! You're too late!
You have to be kidding me that anyone can be this bad.
The last place that it was expected. He's trying to base trade with 1 Reaper, but this time they're Marines. Oh, if I just finish this reactor, it could build 2 times as many Marines. The panic reactor. A panic reaction for a panic reactor. Oh, the orbital's on the run. But will it burn? The answer is an overwhelming and almost certain. Meanwhile, the Reaper's still going to work. It appears very clear, though. The orbital will burn!
You lose!
Old Greg comes in under the guise of offering 5 minerals, and instead he offers murder! Which nobody could have expected. Besides us, of course. Well. Okay, one more. Maybe we approach Toms. Back to, this is called, like, with great eloquence and incredible articulation. Florencio has titled this one Battle War. So, no more Terrans. The Challenger. In the bottom right. With a double extractor trick. What a guy. Wilk. And in the top left, the sewer mermaid. The man, both with and without a plan. He will twist your mind, your spirit, and your perception of reality. It is Dexter Minato, better known as Florencio. I guess this is like the evolution of Dexter. Florencio's loyal companion and research partner and dog. That's, my friends, needs no introduction, but I will introduce it. It is a forge.
Who does that?
Forge unlocks your basic Protoss upgrades. +1 weapons, +1 armor, +1 shields as well. And, oh yeah, cannons. 4 pylons on the way. He's already stolen one of the gases. Remove that opportunity to maybe get Ravagers or something like that. Slaps a cannon down. Where there's a probe, there's more than a serious problem. The drones are trying to break through. Let my people go, he says. But no, says Florencio, keeping him nice and quarantined. We'll have to see. Oh, the drones, but there is but a window with which they can try to nibble their way through. And the only thing that awaits them at the end of the line is death and despair. Probably not in that order. And now the rush will begin in earnest. Another probe awaits command. Two Zerglings make it out. How is Florencio... Like, Florencio is in such a crazy player. He's using different building skins? How is he using different building skins? Like, his forge has a skin, but his gateway doesn't. Who does that? Like, what? I don't even... Can you even do that? I guess you can, technically. That's insane. Like, he just got him out of the pawn shop, alright? He's like, which forge is cheaper? Yeah, I'll take that one. scavenging for every mineral. Oh yeah, by the way, this skin is called Forged. Oh, come on.
Who does that?
So the cannon rush has been a success, but the game is not over yet. This is an interesting choice. Another hatchery in the main, I guess. You want access to more larvae. There's Roach Warren on the way. The Stargate, the obvious choice. Warp Gate, the obvious mistake. There's even a cannon in the main, just in case. I'd assume for a Nidus or something like that. Florencio is prepared. For anything. Anything. Okay? You want to take like a 34-hour no-sleep trip to Miami? Sure. You want to have a nice sit-down, break out those Cuban cigars, and discuss the meaning of life and whether or not we're living in a simulation? Normal Friday night. You want to just take all your clothes off and waggle back and forth through the sewers pretending you're a catfish? Been there, done that. You want to go Stargate without Warp Gate while having an off-color forge while kind of pseudo-contained cannon rushing against a guy who has 2 hatcheries while you still have probes out on the map? Of course. First Void Ray begins. But that will not be the end of it. This is a delaying tactic, but of course Void Ray is a great counter to roaches. And essentially someone who's stuck in his base and doesn't have any anti-air units, believe it or not. Oh, the probe! Oh, well, his watch is ended. A Nidus network on the way, the obvious choice, but one of very few he could make. The Stalker's already prepared for it, and Florencio expanding to his normal third. In fact, that's usually his natural. This game feeling particularly greedy, I guess. Meanwhile, the Overseer. The Void Ray will start going to work, but there's a couple queens. Ravagers make things a little more difficult as well. The Overseer looking for an opportunity. Let me in! Okay, I think the other Void Rays were recalled. Yep. That's a very sad location for a Nidus. That's like a, well, I gotta put it somewhere. Well, instead of asking if you could, maybe you should have asked whether or not you should. Brenda and her knitting crew. Oh, wow. She's put the whole team together. This is a sequel movie where they brought in a lot of A-list queens that they couldn't get for the first movie because, let's be honest, we've seen Nidus before. But I'm excited. This is something different. The Long Journey. That's the Octo Queen build. Dangerous. determined, deadly, daring, dastardly, devious. Somebody pick it up from here. The void rays are going to the other side. They're breaking through. Slowly, but surely. The queens, they drop the creep tumors. They know. Be prepared. These queens, they might not be Eagle Scouts, but they've got their merit badges of creep spreading. Oh, I had no idea with that one. The Chad race going to work on the other side. Will the queens? No. The beachhead is escalating. The creep head. Oh, that sounds weird. Spores on the way. Florencio going to be pushed back to his main. But we realize now this was obviously, since Florencio never expands to his natural as his natural, this was but a decoy nexus for his real natural, which is here. The decoy nexus serves its purpose beautifully. But here come the queens. And the transfuse is on point. Get out of the way! We practiced this! You guys are professionals! And there, the concave. Brenda leading the charge, but out of energy. This is getting actually a little dicey here for Florencio. The Octa-Queen build becoming, well, a recall comes out. That should give away the fact that indeed Wilk has made progress. Queen slapping the gate loose. Get out of here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Wilk is now finally expanding. So now we're going to be one base versus one base. Unfortunately, Florencio's base, unfortunately for Wilk, Florencio's base is the one that has the fresh minerals, whereas Wilk is down to 4 mineral patches and drying out quickly. Oh, a couple queens back at home, rear guard, waiting for the Octo Queens to reinforce. Down goes one. Queens pile back into the Nidus. The rear guard has been deleted. But the queens are back from their journey. They will protect the creep, no matter where it may be. And Wilk, inspired, using all of the tools at his disposal, will expand to Florencio's natural. Is that a decoy hatch? I don't think so. Meanwhile, 2 Ravagers will make their mark on the main base eventually. Wilk is starting to establish himself on the other side of the map. There's a disruptor on the way. The big weakness of the Octo Queens is their literal footprint. Their hitbox. It is quite thick. Wilk gets a cancel last second. That means the drone stays alive. The queens now, the Ravagers are queued in as well, but the queen's on patrol. Knight is still intact. Wilk battling for his life. And in fact, Florencio is as well. Florencio beaten back down to the corner. This probe standing guard, as it has no other purpose at the moment. Wilk adapting to the situation impressively. And now finally, how many queens are there? There are 11 queens. Wait, the queens are going back to the main. Back and forth. Warp gate and recall have nothing on queens. Bit of a traffic jam on the ramp. Another Nidus. The base. It's been spotted. It's been spotted. And Florencio, does he have recall? Recall's off cold. The drone. Well, here come the queens. I'm back, boys! Oh, a recall! All forces are here converging. Disruptor shot microed away. One queen goes down. On another one in the heart of the queens. Transfuse, save the queens. Good transfuses to start. Those disruptors will cool down. Several of the queens at the start. Another disruptor shot, but what a save! Most of the queens get transfused. The queen micro is top notch. Void Rays at the back. Down goes another Ravager. The Robo with it. Gonna try to micro. Oh, dodges. Beautiful micro. Some actually very impressive queen micro with transfuses and everything. Meanwhile, 4 Zerglings going for Florencio's. We'll call it a natural. Oh no! The drone! The creep is spreading. The disruptors are getting a little untenable here. Ooh, that's a big hit. The combo is deadly! Another set of queens! The Octo Queens have lost so many of their number. Oh, another shot. Swings far. Down to 5 queens. And is it time to go back into the Nidus? Oh no! Takes it to the face. They're out of energy. Oh, what? If only we had seen more of that earlier. The queens escape back into the Nidus. Decimated. But the Nexus is gone! Florencio's on 1 base. And Wilk now has a relatively fresh base at Florencio's former natural. And he's also expanding to the front. Stalkers are stuck. From the recall disruptors, he fishes for the creep tumor. He fishes with dynamite, but he finds it. I'd imagine as a sometimes old Greg, he definitely fishes with dynamite. There's not Zergling speed. He's upgrading it now. Wilk is struggling, but he's maintaining a footing in this match through those Niduses. It's a couple disruptor shots away from what is this army? This is like something you put on the damn box. We got a Colossus, we got 3 disruptors, but you can't fire those disruptors. Danger close! Danger close! Does he know hold position? Oh. He's going for the probes. He's trying to right-click down the probes. Florencio down to 20 probes. Stacks the probes in. I think finally he can fire a disruptor shot. The only thing it doesn't affect is disruptors. Friendly disruptors. Wilk is down to 29 supply. He's got enough money, though. For... He's got enough gas for 21 mutas. The minerals, though. The minerals. The minerals. The minerals. The drones will evacuate. They planned. They planned for this. There's still a Nidus in the main. Florencio going to take some time. Spore Crawler's countering the Colossus. If it gets actual hull damage. Nope. There are mutas on the way. There's minimal... not minimal defenses. There's... If he could get, like, 12 mutas out, then maybe that's something. But the mutas are headed towards a base that already has cannons and shield batteries literally surrounding it. So, a recall immediately. How many more units will be trapped? Nope, just the ones that already are. Oh. That's my commentary. It looks like Florencio may have put together a winning composition. The question will be, will there be enough mutas to deal with the Void Rays and with the Stalkers? There's 6 more mutas on the way. There's going to be a handful of Zerglings. There's a couple queens in the mix. Spore Crawlers need to be dragged down if possible. Here come the queens. He's waiting. He's holding. He doesn't want to fight yet. Oh, it might be too late. The queens try to get involved. It's a struggle. The void ray's going down. Disruptors blasting apart drones. He just couldn't bring the pieces together. And Dexterminatu. Florencio wins a topsy-turvy, upside down, all around, back and forth battle war. To cap things off, you might notice like Florencio has a little more experience with Protoss, but the Terran plays still just as creative. If you enjoyed, of course, first check out Florencio. You might be like, well, where can I find him? My free on Twitch, twitch.tv/FlorencioSC. He recently made it much simpler. Or the link below in the description, which you can unlock by liking and subscribing and ringing the bell. If you ring the bell, you get annoyed about the video I post every day, but every day you'll remember, oh yeah, Winter posted an annoying video today. So how exciting is that? Get her done. Hopefully you enjoyed this charcuterie board. Take your pick. What's your favorite? What do you want to see more of? Thank you for watching. Good luck. And have fun.